Today, I want to talk to you about something that can change the way you care for your heart and your brain. And the best part is that it doesn't require costly medicines or complicated treatments. I am a cardiologist with more than 20 years of experience helping people prevent cardiovascular disease and improve their quality of life. Throughout my career, I have seen cases of people who, with simple changes to their daily routine, managed to reduce their risk of having a stroke or serious heart problems significantly. And today I want to share those secrets with you. You might think caring for the heart only means exercising or taking medication, but the truth is that a detail we all use every day in our kitchens can make the difference between a healthy heart and one at risk. I'm talking about the salt we consume and the oil we use to cook or dress our meals. Yes, it may seem like a small thing, but these two elements have a direct impact on our blood pressure, our cholesterol levels, and ultimately on the risk of having a stroke. Did you know that a single simple change in your kitchen can significantly reduce your risk of stroke? Science backs this up. Recent studies show that swapping regular table salt for healthier alternatives and choosing the right oil for your meals can help keep your arteries clear, improve circulation, and protect your brain. And the best part is that it's not about depriving yourself of flavor, but about learning to cook and season intelligently. In this video, we're going to analyze in detail which types of salt and oil you should avoid, which options are recommended by science, and I'll give you practical tips you can apply starting today in your kitchen. In addition, we'll talk about how these changes fit together with other healthy habits to further reduce your risk of stroke and cardiovascular problems. It's not just about living more years, but about living them with greater quality, energy, and peace of mind. Before we continue, I want to know a bit about you. Tell me, how many years old are you and where are you watching this video from? Leave your comment below. Knowing who's with us helps us offer more relevant information and advice that can truly make a difference in your life. Understanding stroke, what it is and why it happens. Before we talk about how salt and oil affect your stroke risk, it's important to understand exactly what a stroke is and why it happens. A stroke, also known as a cerebrovascular accident, is a sudden interruption of blood flow to the brain. This can happen in two main ways. The first is an ischemic stroke, which occurs when a blood vessel becomes blocked, preventing blood from reaching certain areas of the brain. The second is a hemorrhagic stroke, which happens when a blood vessel ruptures and causes bleeding inside the brain. Both types are dangerous, can cause permanent damage, and require immediate medical attention. There are numerous risk factors, but some become especially important from the age of 70. Hypertension is the most critical because high blood pressure damages blood vessels and increases the likelihood that they will rupture or become blocked. High cholesterol is also a key factor. When arteries fill with plaque, blood flow becomes more difficult, and the risk of clots that can trigger an ischemic stroke increases. Diabetes, excess weight, and lack of physical activity further aggravate these problems by affecting circulation and the health of blood vessels. And of course, diet plays a fundamental role. Excessive consumption of salt and unhealthy oils can raise blood pressure and cholesterol, silently driving up risk. The statistics are striking. Every year, millions of people around the world suffer a stroke, and it is one of the leading causes of death and disability in older adults. Among adults older than 70, approximately 1 in 20 may suffer a stroke each year. In addition, those who survive often face after effects that affect mobility, memory, and the ability to carry out daily activities. Many times, these consequences could have been mitigated if preventive habits had been adopted in time. To illustrate this, let me tell you the story of Mr. Andrew, a 75-year-old man who seemed completely healthy. Every day he had breakfast with a generous amount of salt on his eggs, fried his food in cheap oil, and believed that walking 10 minutes in the morning was enough physical activity. He never thought these seemingly harmless habits could put him at risk. One day, while enjoying his daily routine, he suffered an ischemic stroke. Fortunately, he got to the hospital in time, but the after effects were notable: weakness in one arm, difficulty speaking, and a constant fear of carrying out his usual activities. His story is an example of how everyday decisions can have dramatic consequences if precautions are not taken. Understanding how and why a stroke happens is the first step toward preventing it. Now that we're clear on what it is and which risk factors we need to watch, we can focus on specific changes in our diet and kitchen that can reduce this risk significantly. Because it's not just about avoiding danger, but about caring for your heart and brain every day so you can live with more energy, independence, and peace of mind. The impact of salt on your heart and brain. Now that we understand what a stroke is and why it happens, let's focus on one of the most influential factors: salt. Sodium, found in salt, is essential for our body's function in small amounts, but too much can be very harmful, especially from the age of 70. When we consume more salt than our body needs, sodium levels in the blood rise, which causes the body to retain water to dilute it. This retention increases blood pressure, and with it, the strain on the blood vessels of the heart and brain. Over time, this can damage the arteries and significantly raise the risk of stroke. The relationship between hypertension and stroke is direct and powerful. Each sustained increase in blood pressure raises the likelihood that a cerebral blood vessel will become blocked or rupture. Chronic hypertension weakens the walls of blood vessels, making it easier for clots to form and increasing the fragility of the arteries. That's why controlling sodium intake is one of the most important steps to protect your heart and brain. Not all salt is the same. There are several types we consume daily. Refined salt is the most common and least expensive, present in almost all households. Sea salt, although natural, may contain additional minerals, but if consumed in excess, it also raises blood pressure. In addition, many commercial salts include additives such as anti-caking agents, which are not directly harmful, but accompany the high amount of sodium we often ingest without realizing it. The important thing is not only which type of salt we use, but how much and which foods contain it hidden. Many foods contain surprising amounts of sodium. For example, canned soups, cold cuts, industrial bread, processed cheeses, and fast food often have more salt than we imagine. Even foods that seem healthy, like some cereals or frozen items, can push you past the recommended daily limit. Most older adults, without knowing it, consume 2 or even 3 times more sodium than their arteries can handle without risk. To illustrate this, I want to tell you the story of Mrs. Carmen, a 78-year-old woman with moderate hypertension. Her doctor told her to reduce salt, not only what she added to her meals, but also to check the processed foods she ate daily. At first, it was difficult. She was used to seasoning her soups and stews generously. However, after replacing refined salt with herbs and natural spices and choosing fresh foods instead of processed ones, her blood pressure levels began to drop gradually. Within a few months, her checkups showed significant improvements. Her pressure stabilized, her energy increased, and her stroke risk dropped notably. This example shows that small changes in the kitchen can have a huge impact on cardiovascular and brain health. Reducing salt doesn't mean food stops being tasty. Quite the opposite. Learning to use herbs, spices, and natural alternatives not only protects your heart and brain, it can transform your dishes into richer, healthier experiences. The first step is to be aware of the salt you consume and start identifying hidden sources in your daily diet. Once you do, your body and your arteries will thank you, and you'll be taking a decisive step toward reducing your stroke risk naturally and effectively. Which type of salt to choose and how to cut back. After understanding the impact of excess salt on blood pressure and stroke risk, it's time to learn how to reduce it effectively and safely without sacrificing flavor or pleasure in food. The science is clear. Experts recommend limiting daily salt intake to less than 5 grams, which equals approximately 1 small teaspoon. This amount helps keep blood pressure under control, protects blood vessels, and significantly reduces the likelihood of a stroke. But it's not just about quantity, it's also about quality. Not all the salt we find at the supermarket is equally advisable. Additive-free sea salt is a good option, as it contains natural minerals and doesn't include chemicals that could affect long-term health. Another alternative is salt enriched with potassium, which helps balance sodium levels in the blood and can help reduce blood pressure. However, the best strategy is to learn to do without industrial salt as much as possible, replacing it with herbs, spices, garlic, onion, paprika, lemon, and other natural seasonings that enhance the flavor of foods without posing a risk to your heart. When cutting back on salt, it's essential to be mindful of the foods we eat daily. Reading labels becomes a key habit. Cold cuts, packaged soups and broths, industrial breads, processed cheeses, and salty snacks often contain hidden sodium in quantities much higher than one would expect. By identifying these sources, you can swap them for fresh, natural options: vegetables, legumes, unprocessed meats, and unsalted nuts. Even frozen meals can be replaced with quick and easy homemade preparations that let you control the amount of salt and make the most of all the nutrients. A real case that illustrates the transformation that can be achieved is that of Mr. Lewis, a 75-year-old man with hypertension and a family history of stroke. For years, he had consumed industrial bread, cheeses, and canned soups without realizing how much sodium he was ingesting every day. His doctor recommended gradually reducing salt, reading labels, and experimenting with natural seasonings. At first, Mr. Lewis thought the food would lose flavor, but he discovered that garlic, paprika, black pepper, and lemon enhanced flavors more than salt. In just 3 months, his blood pressure dropped notably, his energy increased, and he felt more active. This change not only reduced his stroke risk, it improved his overall well-being, proving that small daily adjustments can have extraordinary effects. Some practical tips for implementing this salt reduction include replacing industrial snacks with natural nuts or unsalted seeds, cooking with fresh or dried herbs and spices to boost flavor, avoiding adding salt while cooking. Instead, use lemon juice, vinegar, or olive oil. Gradually incorporating alternatives like additive-free sea salt or potassium salt, combining them with natural seasonings to retrain your palate. The process of reducing salt shouldn't be abrupt. A gradual change allows your body and your palate to adapt without feeling that food loses its flavor. Every adjustment you make today protects your heart, your arteries, and your brain, lowering the chances of a stroke and helping you maintain a more active, healthy life. Remember, it's not about eliminating the pleasure of eating, but about learning to cook and enjoy foods that nourish, protect, and strengthen your health in the long term. The oil you can change to protect your heart. If we've learned that salt can directly affect blood pressure and increase stroke risk, it's also essential to understand how the oils and fats we consume daily influence our cardiovascular and brain health. Not all oils are the same, and choosing the right ones can make an enormous difference in your long-term well-being. First, it's important to know the types of fats present in oils. Saturated fats, found in refined oils, butter, and industrial margarine, tend to raise bad cholesterol and harden the arteries. Trans fats, found in many processed products and hydrogenated oils, are even more dangerous. They raise bad cholesterol, lower good cholesterol, and spike the risk of heart disease and stroke. On the other hand, monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fats, present in oils such as extra virgin olive oil, avocado, nuts, and seeds, protect the heart, reduce inflammation, and improve blood flow. One of the most common oils to avoid is palm oil, widely used in processed foods, fried items, and industrial baked goods. Although it's inexpensive and resistant to oxidation, it contains saturated fats that raise cholesterol and encourage plaque formation in the arteries. Another oil to be careful with is refined sunflower, corn, or soybean oil, which loses many antioxidants during processing and can contain trans fats. Commercial margarine, for its part, is especially harmful, combining saturated and trans fats and increasing the risk of arteriosclerosis and circulatory problems. Now, let's talk about healthy alternatives. Extra virgin olive oil is the king of heart-healthy oils. Its composition, rich in monounsaturated fats and antioxidants such as polyphenols, helps reduce inflammation, protect the arteries, and improve blood flow. In addition, scientific studies have shown that regular consumption lowers LDL cholesterol and triglyceride levels while raising HDL cholesterol, the good kind. Another recommended option is avocado oil, likewise rich in healthy fats and antioxidants, which performs very well in the kitchen and contributes to cardiovascular and brain health. To illustrate the impact of changing oil, consider the case of Martha, a 72-year-old woman with high cholesterol and a family history of stroke. For years, she cooked with refined oil and consumed commercial margarine without paying attention to the effect on her health. After a medical checkup, she began replacing these oils with extra virgin olive oil for cooking and avocado oil for salads. 3 months later, her lab results showed a significant drop in LDL cholesterol and triglycerides, more stable blood pressure, and a general sense of well-being. Her blood flow improved, reducing the risk of stroke and other cardiovascular problems. This example shows that a relatively simple change in the kitchen can have a deep and lasting effect on your health. Some practical tips for implementing these changes include: avoid refined oils, commercial margarine, and processed products that contain them. Cook with extra virgin olive oil or avocado oil, preferably raw or at moderate temperature. Use nuts, seeds, and avocado as sources of healthy fats in salads and snacks. Swap deep frying for baking or light sautéing with little oil, preserving flavor without compromising health. The key message is that the quality of the fats you consume directly impacts the health of your heart and brain. Changing your oil is neither a luxury nor a fad. It's a decision that can protect your arteries, lower cholesterol, improve circulation, and ultimately decrease your stroke risk. Every small adjustment you make in your kitchen today translates into healthier, more active years of life. The relationship between oil, cholesterol, and stroke, approximately 3,800 characters. If we're talking about protecting your heart and brain, we cannot ignore the direct relationship between the oils you consume, the cholesterol in your blood, and the risk of suffering a stroke. To understand this, we must first remember that there are two main types of cholesterol: LDL, known as bad cholesterol, which accumulates in the arteries and raises the risk of blockages, and HDL, the good cholesterol, which helps remove that excess fat and protects circulation. The oils we use daily directly influence these levels. Refined oils, palm oil, and commercial margarines tend to raise LDL and lower HDL, promoting inflammation and encouraging the formation of fatty plaques in the arteries. Over time, these plaques can narrow blood vessels, hinder circulation, and generate clots, which are the main cause of ischemic strokes. By contrast, oils rich in monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fats, such as extra virgin olive oil or avocado oil, help keep LDL in check and raise HDL, fostering more flexible, healthier arteries. Scientific studies support these findings. For example, research conducted in Spain and other Mediterranean countries shows that people who replace harmful oils with extra virgin olive oil reduce their lifetime stroke risk by as much as 30%. This is due to the combination of antioxidants, polyphenols, and healthy fats that reduce inflammation, improve endothelial function, and prevent thrombus formation. Visually, we can imagine the difference between healthy arteries and arteries with fat buildup. In the former, blood flows freely, the vessels are flexible, and the heart works with less effort. In the latter, cholesterol plaques obstruct the flow, pressure rises, and the risk of clotting shoots up. Even small dietary adjustments, such as swapping a refined oil for a healthy one, can partially reverse these accumulations and improve circulation. Let's take the example of Louis, a 75-year-old man with a family history of stroke. For decades, he cooked with commercial margarine and palm oil, and his cholesterol was out of control. After starting a gradual shift to extra virgin olive oil and avocado oil, along with cutting back on salt, his tests showed a significant drop in LDL cholesterol and triglycerides. At 6 months, his blood pressure was more stable and his arteries had regained flexibility, lowering the risk of clots and stroke. The key message is clear. Oils are not just a condiment, but a powerful tool to care for your cardiovascular and brain health. Choosing the right one can transform your arteries, improve circulation, and reduce the risk of an event that could change your life forever. Every decision you make in the kitchen today has a direct effect on your well-being tomorrow. Now that we understand how salt and oils affect your heart and brain, it's time to talk about practical solutions. This isn't about giving up flavor or changing your entire life overnight, but about implementing simple kitchen changes that can make the difference between high risk and a healthier life. The first step is to replace table salt with natural alternatives, herbs such as rosemary, thyme, oregano, and basil, spices such as paprika, turmeric, or cumin, and citrus like lemon and lime can intensify the flavor of your dishes without raising blood pressure. For example, instead of salting a fillet of fish, try marinating it with lemon, garlic, and herbs. You'll see how the flavor deepens and how your heart appreciates every bite. As for oil, the key is choosing the right one and the right cooking method. Healthy oils such as extra virgin olive oil or avocado oil are ideal for dressings or for cooking at moderate temperature. For frying, use small amounts and prefer oven baking or covered pan sautéing to reduce the oil absorbed. Baking, sautéing, or steaming preserves nutrients and protects your cardiovascular system. An example of a healthy daily menu could be breakfast, oats with nuts, seeds, and a drizzle of extra virgin olive oil over roasted fruit. Lunch, spinach and tomato salad with avocado oil, served with oven-baked fish with herbs and lemon. Dinner, grilled chicken with vegetables sautéed in olive oil and assorted spices. Snacks, nuts, carrot sticks, hummus with paprika, and a touch of olive oil. Some additional tips to keep flavor while reducing risk. Cook in small batches and taste each ingredient before adding salt. Experiment with spices and herb combinations to find your favorite flavors. Swap ultra-processed snacks for homemade versions, seasoned with herbs and healthy oil. Keep a bottle of extra virgin olive oil nearby to add at the end of your preparations. It boosts flavor and benefits. Implementing these changes doesn't require weeks of effort or complicated diets. Simply by paying attention to your daily kitchen choices, you can reduce blood pressure, improve cholesterol, decrease inflammation, and protect your brain against stroke. Every small adjustment counts, and with consistency, these habits become a lifestyle that protects your heart without sacrificing pleasure or flavor. So far, we've talked about salt, oils, and how they directly influence your heart and brain. But stroke prevention isn't limited to what we put on our plates. There are complementary habits that, when combined with healthy eating, multiply the benefits and significantly reduce the risk of a cerebrovascular accident. The first and most important is daily exercise, adapted to your age and physical condition. You don't have to run marathons or lift heavy weights. 30-minute walks, stretching exercises, yoga, or even household tasks done at moderate intensity activate circulation, strengthen the heart, and help keep arteries flexible. For example, Mary, 78 years old, started with short walks around her neighborhood. In a few months, her blood pressure dropped, she felt lighter, and her cholesterol levels improved. The most important thing is consistency. 5 days a week can transform your cardiovascular health more than you might imagine. Adequate hydration also plays a crucial role. Drinking enough water keeps blood more fluid and helps prevent clots that could lead to a stroke. Pairing water with fruits and vegetables rich in antioxidants, such as blueberries, spinach, peppers, and citrus, protects cells from oxidative damage and strengthens arteries. These foods act as a natural shield against inflammation and vessel hardening, two critical factors in stroke prevention. Another key aspect is managing weight, stress, and sleep. Maintaining a healthy weight reduces strain on the heart and circulation. Managing stress through deep breathing, meditation, or enjoyable activities prevents spikes in blood pressure and cortisol that damage arteries. And sleeping between 7 and 8 hours a day allows the body to recover, regulate pressure, and stabilize heart rhythm. Ignoring any of these factors can diminish the positive effect of a healthy diet and regular exercise. To visualize how these habits combine, think of a simple but effective routine. 30 minutes of walking daily, 2 liters of water spread throughout the day, meals rich in antioxidant fruits and vegetables, relaxation techniques in the evening, and restorative sleep. This set of practices not only protects your heart and brain, it improves your energy, mood, and overall well-being. The key message is that stroke prevention is a comprehensive approach. One isolated change isn't enough. Every small habit adds up, and with consistency, becomes a lifestyle that protects your health and prolongs your independence. Remember, what you do today can make a difference tomorrow. If food, exercise, and rest are the tools, mindset is the engine. that ensures you use them correctly. Stroke prevention doesn't happen by accident. It requires discipline, consistency, and a proactive perspective on your health. Small, sustained changes over time have a cumulative effect that can mean the difference between a healthy heart and brain and an elevated risk of a cerebrovascular accident. Consistency is more important than perfection. It's not about cutting out everything you enjoy at once, but about incorporating habits that last. For example, gradually replacing refined salt with herbs and spices, alternating harmful oils for extra virgin olive oil, walking daily, and prioritizing sleep. Each action, no matter how small it seems, strengthens your cardiovascular system and creates a pattern your body recognizes and appreciates. Real testimonies show the power of these changes. Laura, 75 years old, lived with hypertension and elevated cholesterol. At first, she was skeptical. She thought her habits couldn't change anything, but after replacing palm oil with olive oil, reducing salt, and walking 30 minutes daily, her tests showed a notable drop in LDL cholesterol and blood pressure, and her doctor confirmed that her stroke risk had decreased significantly. Discipline and a positive mindset were as important as diet and exercise. Without commitment, the results would have been short-lived. Taking control of your health also means listening to your body and acting before serious problems appear. Regular medical checkups, attention to warning signs such as persistently elevated blood pressure, frequent headaches, or unusual fatigue, and adjusting your habits accordingly are essential parts of prevention. Don't wait for an adverse event to react. Finally, a motivational reflection. Your heart and brain deserve daily attention, not only when a problem arises. Every decision, from which oil to use to how you manage stress, has a direct impact. Adopting a preventive mindset is not only an act of physical care, but a commitment to your overall well-being and long-term independence. Stroke prevention is possible. It's not just about luck or genetics, it's about the decisions you make every day. With discipline, consistency, and a proactive mindset, you can reduce risk, protect your brain and heart, and enjoy a fuller life with energy and clarity. Every step you take today is a step toward a healthier, safer tomorrow. Although you now know the importance of salt, oils, and healthy habits, many people still make mistakes that silently increase their stroke risk. Recognizing them is the first step to avoiding them. The most frequent mistake is underestimating the amount of sodium and harmful fats in processed foods. Many people think they only need to reduce the salt they add at home, but the reality is that products such as cold cuts, canned soups, prepared sauces, and snacks contain surprising amounts of hidden sodium. Each small spoonful of these foods can equal all the salt allowed in one day. Consuming them regularly raises blood pressure, overloads the heart, and increases the likelihood of a cerebrovascular accident. Another common mistake is trusting inexpensive oils, or those labeled light, without checking the ingredients. Many industrial brands contain partially hydrogenated oils, or blends of saturated fats disguised with attractive names. Although they claim to be healthy, they actually contribute to arterial inflammation and an increase in LDL cholesterol. Replacing these products with extra virgin olive oil or avocado oil is fundamental for lowering stroke risk. Skipping regular medical checkups is also a critical error. Hypertension, elevated cholesterol, and diabetes can be silent for years, showing few symptoms until something serious happens. Without regular tests, these factors go unnoticed, leaving the heart and brain at risk. Even constant fatigue, recurrent headaches, or changes in sleep can be early signs that something isn't right. Ignoring them can mean a stroke occurs without warning. Finally, many people ignore early signals out of convenience or fear. Silent hypertension, high cholesterol, constant tiredness, and difficulty concentrating are warnings that, if detected in time, allow preventive action. Failing to act on these signs increases the risk of stroke and serious complications that could have been avoided. Recognizing these mistakes isn't about guilt, but about awareness. Every step you take today to correct them is a direct investment in your heart and brain. Stroke prevention depends on daily decisions, and avoiding these mistakes is as important as choosing the right salt and oil. Action plan to reduce stroke risk. Now that we know what to avoid, it's time to map out a practical action plan. Effective stroke prevention doesn't require drastic overnight changes, but clear, applicable, and sustainable steps in your daily life. First, change the salt. Cut down on refined and processed salt and replace it with healthy alternatives such as additive-free sea salt, potassium salt, fresh herbs, and natural spices. This helps keep blood pressure stable and protects your arteries from long-term damage. Remember to check the labels of the foods you buy. Many contain hidden sodium that can sabotage your efforts. Second, change the oil. Replace saturated and refined oils, as well as commercial margarine, with extra virgin olive oil or avocado oil. These oils reduce arterial inflammation, raise HDL cholesterol, and improve circulation, protecting both your heart and your brain. Use them for low-temperature cooking, raw, or for dressing salads. Third, adopt healthy habits. Walking daily, maintaining a diet rich in fruits and vegetables, hydrating properly, and sleeping between 7 and 8 hours are pillars of prevention. Managing stress, avoiding a sedentary lifestyle, and maintaining a healthy weight complete the comprehensive approach. Immediate action. List. Check your pantry and replace products with excess salt and harmful oils. Plan your meals with fresh, healthy ingredients. Set a routine of 30 minutes of walking daily. Drink enough water and eat antioxidant fruits and vegetables. Schedule a complete medical checkup: blood pressure, cholesterol, glucose, and kidney function. Medical follow-up is crucial. Regular checkups allow you to detect and control problems before they become emergencies. In addition, knowing your numbers and progress will motivate you to continue making changes. Stroke prevention is a daily commitment. Every small change adds up and translates into additional years of quality life. It's not just about surviving, but about living with energy, mental clarity, and well-being. Remember, your heart and brain won't wait. Today is the best time to start protecting them. Every action counts, and every healthy habit is a step toward a safer, fuller future. We've reached the end of this video, and it's time to review the most important things we've learned. We've talked about how the salt and oils we use every day can directly affect the health of our heart and brain. Cutting back on refined salt and replacing industrial oils with healthy options like extra virgin olive oil or avocado oil isn't a minor detail. They are small changes with a huge impact on preventing stroke and cardiovascular disease. We also saw that lifestyle habits are just as crucial. Maintaining a diet rich in fruits and vegetables, walking or doing physical activity adapted to your age, hydrating properly, sleeping well, and managing stress are pillars that protect your heart and brain day after day. These habits, although they may seem simple, add up and can make the difference between years of healthy life and serious complications. We cannot forget the importance of regular medical checkups. Blood pressure, cholesterol, and glucose may seem like boring numbers on a sheet of paper, but knowing them and keeping them under control is one of the best ways to anticipate bigger problems. Ignoring these signs is like driving without brakes, a risk that can be avoided with attention and consistency. I want you to take away a very clear message. It is never too late to care for your heart and brain. Every change you make today, no matter how small it seems, counts. Swapping salt for spices, using a healthy oil, or going out for a few minutes of walking each day are decisions that add years of life with quality, energy, and well-being. It's not just about living longer, but living better, with mental clarity, independence, and peace of mind. Before we say goodbye, I would love to know a bit about you. Tell me in the comments how many years old you are and where you're watching this video from. Your participation not only motivates us to keep creating useful content, it also helps others feel accompanied on this path toward a healthier life. If you found this information valuable, share this video with your family and friends. It could be the motivation someone needs to make a change that saves their life. Preventing stroke and heart disease is not only an individual responsibility, sharing knowledge is an act of collective care. Finally, I want to leave you with a warm, professional message. Taking care of your health is an act of self-love and respect for those around you. Every healthy decision you make is a gift you give yourself and your family. Remember, Your heart and your brain deserve attention every day, not only when a problem appears. Thank you for joining us today. Stay tuned for our upcoming videos to keep learning how to protect what is most valuable to you, your health and your well-being.